You are watching Midnight Movie Talk live from the City of Angels, Los Angeles, here on this Tuesday night, as we have a story that we have not discussed for a few weeks. Because really, it was a situation that Marvel was very happy with. Marvel wanted the Jonathan Majors story to disappear. And listen, we understand why Marvel would want the major situation to fade into black. They don't want to deal with it because of the headaches it's going to cause for them going forward. But tonight we pose the question, is Jonathan Majors finished? Let's get the latest. And this is why we're doing a stream tonight, because there's breaking news both today and yesterday that we need to discuss. And we go right to Deadline with the exclusive here. Let's get the latest, and then we'll roll backwards to what happened yesterday. So today, news breaking from Deadline, exclusive, that he's been dropped from a whole bunch of stuff, including the featured adaptation of Walter Mosley's novel, A Man in My Basement. Ad campaign for the Rangers baseball team, MLB. Also, apparently they were looking at him for an Otis Redding biopic. And that is gone. Now, what happened yesterday? Two huge things. His management, Entertainment 360, his publicist, the lead company, both saying we're done with him. We're done with Jonathan Majors. So here's the situation. If you don't know why all this is happening, he is facing those domestic violence allegations in New York City back on March 25th. So about 3 weeks ago, coming up on a month this weekend, involving that 30-year-old woman in the taxi, taken to the hospital with minor injuries to her head and neck, according to authorities at the time of the incident. Majors is scheduled to appear in court on May 8th on being charged by the New York City DA. Now, so as you may or may not know, hopefully you do know, you're watching Midnight Movie Talk, you guys are smart people. You guys get it. Okay, so Majors is Kang, right? You know that. Give me a thumbs up. You know that. But here is really where we stand tonight. So let's just start with the biggest issue for Jonathan Majors. Obviously, everything that's happening in the past 24 hours, the news that's coming out here, the leaks of these projects that are not going forward with him involved, and then the management and the PR getting out. This is all going south quickly. We had that break, 3 weeks, we didn't hear about anything, we didn't know what was going to happen, and then all of a sudden, boom, management PR says we're out. Now, still in, William Morris, his agent, big agency here in Los Angeles and Hollywood, CAA, William Morris, and then you've got obviously Endeavor, and I think they're part of William Morris actually. And ICM, there's all kinds of agencies, but they're one of the biggest. They still have him, okay? So, right now, the thing that we are waiting for is this. When is Marvel going to make its move? Because right now, you have management out, you have PR out, agencies still in, you have projects that are saying we're not going to make a movie with Jonathan Majors. Okay, we are no longer going to be interested in working with him. And here's why. It's really simple. I mean, this doesn't really need to be explained that much. When you're spending millions of dollars on a project already, right? These things are expensive no matter what you are making, whether it's a show, a film, whatever it is, you're spending a ton of cash to get that thing made. The last thing that you want to deal with is having one of the stars of your show, and Netflix is facing it right now, right? We're not going to talk about that tonight, but you guys, Netflix is dealing with a whole major problem with one of their biggest shows right now. So you don't want to have your actor that's involved in your film in the middle of a legal situation, a nightmare, right? Ask Warner Brothers and Ezra Miller. We'll talk about that tonight as well. Because there is a difference between the two, and I need to make sure that we are all on the same page when it comes to Ezra and Jonathan and the difference between the two and why Ezra's still there, and now it looks like Jonathan Majors may be out at any moment. But when people start fleeing, they're jumping ship, that is really bad for Marvel because at some point very soon, it's looking like they're going to have to say goodbye to Jonathan Majors. And if that happens, sources telling me that, as you know, Kang is a very vital part of Loki. So when the new season begins, he's 50% of the show, according to my source. Not just like 50%. So if Majors is exited, if he is sent packing from Marvel, you have to now go back in and essentially reshoot Loki. You cannot just, CGI in an actor. That's not going to work. So you got to go and scrap the entire thing. Millions and millions of dollars spent on this. And if that happens, you talk about a headache. I understand why Marvel hasn't said anything. Now, comments coming. If you have something you really want to get off your chest, bring it in on a super chat. You're in fast. The quickest way. This stream's not going to go an hour tonight. We're going to do about 30 minutes, and that's it. Now, let's talk about some potential replacements. And there's a few. There's one I'm going to throw out here tonight that you have not heard yet. And then there's one from Jeff Snyder, who's a very smart, very good reporter here in Los Angeles. So, as we look here, one of the actors they're looking at is this man right here you see in front of you. Now, if you're unfamiliar with him, and frankly, I have not seen any work from him because he's not done a ton of theatrical work, which, as you guys know, watching Midnight Movie Talk, that is what we do here. But this is Damson Idris. And apparently, he just got cast in Brad Pitt's massively expensive Formula One movie for Apple. So he is ascending. What you see in Hollywood, guys, if you're not familiar with this actor yet, here's how it works. You start small as a supporting character, usually in shows. You work yourself up into film, and then boom, you're the next big thing, as we saw Jonathan Majors. Remember Majors, going back to The Last Black Man in San Francisco. That was when we really saw him take off. It takes one thing to really get that career firing. And in this case, when you're cast next to a Brad Pitt in a $100+ million Formula One movie, then you are going places quickly. Now, I'm going to throw another name out there that some of you, hopefully you sold this film. I know a lot of you didn't, but if you're a fan and you've been here on Midnight Movie Talk for any amount of time, you guys know I talk about Empire of Light a lot. This is Michael Ward. And for one of the better awards films of last year, it was a weak year last year, okay? Empire of Light got completely shit on by everybody. Is it a perfect film? Hell no. The screenplay is not great. But when you have Sam Mendes directing and you have Roger Deakins on cinematography and you have Reznor Ross on score, you have all the tech that you want to watch. And you also have a great performance from Michael Ward. Michael Ward is another name I am going to throw out there. If Marvel decides to recast Kang, look at a Michael Ward. Very impressed with him in Empire of Light. Let's go to the comments here, and let's see what you guys have to say. The big question here tonight is very simple. Is Jonathan Majors finished? Is it over? Because right now, we are looking at a situation where it is coming apart at the seams, and we're only waiting for Marvel to say he's out of here. Now, again, the reason they're not doing that is they want to wait until the last second before they have to go back in and reshoot everything. That's millions, tens of millions of dollars, right? So, understandably, Marvel's been quiet. Here's what I would have done. If I were Marvel, I would have, the Monday after this happened, remember it's happened on a Saturday, the news broke, and Sunday it was a big story. Monday, you have a quick PR press release that says something along the lines of Marvel saying, we are aware of allegations against Jonathan Majors. We are following developments and certainly are concerned given, the allegations. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's literally 3 sentences and you're out. They haven't done that because it makes sense. They just wanted it to go away. I think they would have been better served to say something. They didn't. But as such, now they're at this point where the next move is not going to be something like that. It's going to be he's gone. So, answer the question for me. Is he done? As of right now, is he... Jacqueline, welcome back to the stream, by the way. Yes, we were one of the first people to do a live stream about this for like an hour and a half when it broke. So tonight, we're back because we have a lot of information to get through. 2 big days of news about Jonathan Majors. Beantown Brandon, good to have you back here. Career's over. Let that be a serious cautionary tale for upcoming movie stars. The reason this story is so compelling is the fact that you were talking about an actor who was ascending at a level that you typically do not see, even in Hollywood. You don't see someone rise as quickly as Jonathan Majors, especially in the past year. Given Creed, Ant-Man combo, boom, right? For those of you who didn't like Ant-Man 3, you guys know I liked it a lot more than Lonnie. But you all liked Kang. I didn't hear virtually anyone saying that they didn't love what Jonathan Majors brought to that role. From a physicality standpoint, Jonathan Majors is blessed, and you need that to play a villain. You cannot have a 125-pound, zero muscle villain. It's not going to work. It's going to be awkward. That guy physically looks the part. Hello, it's Hollywood. You got to look the part. It's just how it works. So Majors here was ascending so quickly that we were just like, this guy's going to win an Academy Award maybe this year with Magazine Dreams. If you don't know, the movie that debuted at Sundance, Searchlight picks it up, the same studio that released Empire of Light. Searchlight has a ton of award success outside of Empire of Light, and they were planning to go hard on, that sounded weird, Jonathan Majors with Magazine Dreams later this year. Now they paid money for a film that they might have to just put on the back burner for another year or two and see where this thing, if it resolves itself. Because right now we are in a state of question. What's going to happen next? And anyone and everyone who had something planned with Jonathan Majors is on hold. And that's what we told you. Remember that stream from 3 weeks ago, live here on MMT on a Saturday night. What did I tell you? Everyone who is working with Jonathan Majors is not working with him on Monday. It's on pause. It's on hold. The same thing we said about Will Smith when the slap went down, right? It's like, everything's on pause. You're not going to work Monday because we have a major situation that we need to get resolved. In Will Smith's case, as you know, it's going to take a lot of time. We don't even know if that will ever come back. But clearly Apple learned with Emancipation that we needed longer than, 6 months. I can't believe they still released that. I cannot believe they released that film last year. I mean, that was one of the stupidest decisions in the history of a studio. And Netflix makes them every day. I mean, we're going to savage Netflix here in a little bit, by the way. We love Apple. We love every studio. We even love Netflix, if you can believe it. We just don't love the fact that they don't get theatrical. And, of course, they prove it again today. We'll talk about it in a minute. More comments here. But I think that's the key, right? That this is such an interesting and fascinating story because this is not some minor actor. This is a major ascending actor in Hollywood who is involved in huge projects. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than the MCU. Even if there is CBM fatigue, it does not get bigger than the MCU. Now, this story would make a good basis for interesting drama. A working actor makes it on the top and quickly dragged back down. Tar, right? I mean, think about it. It's the same it's the same script. We just swap in, instead of Lydia Tarr, we're going to swap in some actor up at the top of the game. And at the end of the day, they are doing an off-Broadway, hell, they're in the middle of a community theater in Ohio. That is Tar. Just write it. I just gave you guys the script. Run with it. That's what we do. We literally just hand out goodies here. Go write a script about an actor who loses it all. Just mimic Tar. Make it the same movie. Most people won't even go, I don't know, because half the people didn't watch Tar. You guys all screwed up if you didn't watch this film. You all messed up the best film of 2022, and it was not even a contest, is this film. It's right over my shoulder if you can't see it, in the background on the FYC screeners. How does Majors recover from this? Does he just get a normal job? Perhaps he has enough money for life. That is, okay, this is fascinating. Great question, Mega YouTube 99. This is something that has always really interested me. Look at actors who were big and then have never worked again. And one name that comes to mind, and some of you may remember this, a lot of you probably won't, is Jonathan Brandis. I think that's how you said his name. He was on that show, the Steven Spielberg Submarine Show. Remember back in like the 90s? It was a huge hit, young actor. I want to say he was in Ladybugs. Okay? But it's a tragic tale. It's a tale of a young actor who worked, and all of a sudden couldn't work and didn't work, and he hung himself. This is a brutal town. This town will chew you up, spit you out, and then when it's over, they'll never think of you again. For Jonathan Majors, the hard part for him, and listen, there are allegations. I understand that. But when you are the cause of your own undoing, which in this case would be, if this holds to be true, everything that's being accused, and we're going to get to Tim Nicolai in a moment because that's a big deal too. When these accusations were made, in addition to what happened allegedly in the taxi, then you are talking about your own undoing, and that is going to be very, very difficult to reconcile for Jonathan Majors going forward, especially when you are on the precipice of greatness. You're on the precipice of winning an Oscar, possibly for Magazine Dreams. Maybe not a win, but more than likely a nomination. When Searchlight purchases your movie, you are in a great spot when it comes to awards. That studio has tremendous Oscar success outside of Empire of Light. Everything else usually works for them. They've had throughout the year so many. Just recently, Nomadland, The Favorite. That studio, now owned by Disney, thankfully not really bothered with by Disney. They just let Searchlight do its thing. They know how to make an awards film work. And Magazine Dreams is going to be that. And so this is just it's a tragedy, right? All around. If, again, a lot of this is hypothetical, I get it, but that's what we're doing here. We have to go to that next level because the reason we are even bringing this back to a show tonight is because we have developments that are showing this is progressing and not in a good way for Jonathan Majors. PR out, management out, different projects saying we're not going to work with you, people dropping him. This is all leading towards him being kicked from Marvel. And then we have a story that is one of the biggest stories in Hollywood in ages because of the impact that his removal will have from so many projects, and particularly the MCU going forward. You have to reshoot an entire series. I mean, my God. Well, I'll tell you, superhero movies, welcome back to the channel. It is a great time to be alive. You like to talk about stuff like this because, let me tell you, that this is as compelling as it gets. John, who's going to market correct Jonathan Majors? What actor you see gunning? Well, we mentioned those two. So, again, Damson Idris and Michael Ward. I'm putting Michael Ward forward here tonight because I am a huge fan of Empire of Light. In fact, that's your homework tonight. You guys know every time we do MMT, you have a homework assignment. I want you to watch Empire of Light, and I want you to get back to me when we do the show on Thursday and tell me your thoughts. You're going to see a film that's technically on fire, and then you're going to see a screenplay that doesn't work. Not fully. Doesn't coalesce the way that Sam Mendes, I think, intended it to. But Michael Ward is the star of the film along with Olivia Colman. We've seen Olivia Colman do this role so many times. But Michael Ward is the revelation here, and I would not be surprised if he's in the mix to replace Jonathan Majors for Kang. We're putting that forward tonight. So if that happens, remember, we were the first to say that. Okay. A huge fan of Michael Ward from that movie. That's what we do too. Remember this. Whenever you're going through these films, trust me, when you see as many films as me, you're constantly sifting through so much, looking for things that could potentially be bigger down the road. Director's number one, right? When you watch Saint Maud and you look at Rose Glass, you instantly see a director of enormous talent, right? When you watch an Aftersun, Charlotte Wells, my God, these people announce I'm here. And Michael Ward in this film does that for me as an actor. You go back and you look at Julia Roberts. Remember when she this is a star. When you watch certain actors, you say to yourself, this person will be big. Directors for sure as well. It's the same thing. That's what we try to do here. You're trying to see what is going to be the next big thing and what deserves to be raised up and what deserves to be smashed down. Don't get me started on Beau is Afraid. We're not doing it tonight. I can't. I've already done 3 full streams on that. I can't do another one. Watch it if you want to. Watch out, Tucker. I'll ban you from the channel. It's over. All right, more here. Those Marvel and MGM paychecks better be hefty. He's going to have to live his life. Listen, he's made a ton of cash, right? Between Loki, between obviously just being Kang in everything that he's in, but Loki, Ant-Man, go back to Creed 3. You know, Last Black Man in San Francisco is not going to pay a lot. He was on Lovecraft. What was the one? The I never watched it. Netflix show. He's made money. But he was about ready to start cashing massive paychecks, right? So his paycheck for Ant-Man 3 is going to pale in comparison to when they bring him forward to Secret War, all the stuff that was going forward, right? That is going to be like a tiny, you'd laugh at the check compared to what he's going to get because you are that much more vital to the franchise going forward. When you first sign anything, look at Hollywood. You see so many of these actors, they sign that first deal. And then they get, obviously, the money that's not, it's fine. You wouldn't laugh at, you'd be like, I'll take that money. It's great. I'm on a show. But when you make your monies on the renewal, right? The Stranger Things. Millie, look at her contract from 1 to season, 5? I don't watch the show. It's season 5. That paycheck just went boom, kept going up because once you are part of a popular show, then you have them. You have to be part of it. Now, we've seen people get written off of shows because they ask for too much money. But in general, you can just keep asking for just this. And if you're that essential, you're going to get it. And Jonathan Majors just literally lost. Yes, tens of millions. If it's over, this is $100 million plus loss for Jonathan Majors personally. Easy. Because you look at an actor who's going to end up working for at least the next decade minimum. And now he's making $0. And so if this goes the way it's going now, then it's big time. Yes, exactly. Zephyr, welcome to the channel. Majors dropped by his management and PR agency. Yeah, we mentioned that off the top. And then, of course, all these other projects are like, we don't want any part of him. And again, it just is, it makes sense. If you're going to make something, you do not want someone in your film that is going to be in court and dragged all over the news for physically assaulting somebody. Now, let's talk about this because this is what I think we do better than anybody. We are going to be fearless here and we are going to talk about the difference between, and this is the tweet I'm going to pull up here because this is important. We need to have this discussion. Here's the tweet. Let me flip it. Here it is. Okay, so Jonathan Majors, it's a meme. Jonathan Majors seeing Ezra Miller keep his job as the Flash. Okay, so I get it. Here's the deal. When Ezra Miller was in his situation, he was either in the middle of shooting the Flash or, remember, as we discussed Ezra Miller so many times with the choke slam in the bar. I can dig it up. Give me a minute. I'll find it again. Ezra Miller choke slamming the woman in the bar. When did that happen? That happened 1 month into COVID. That's why that didn't blow up. We are out of that. And because we're out of that, Jonathan Majors cannot hide under the veil of everyone talking about COVID 24/7. Now it's about Jonathan Majors 24/7. Ezra Miller had the luxury, whether you like it or not, he had the luxury of having that happen in the middle of a shitstorm when it came to the media. No one gave a crap because they were all talking about COVID. So, listen, the video of Ezra Miller, I'm going to pull it up. The video of Ezra Miller choke slamming the woman in the bar. Okay, here. If you haven't seen it, here it comes one more time. It's on TMZ. Give me a sec. I should just save this. I don't know why I don't, because some of you haven't seen it. And I'm like, how have you not seen Ezra Miller choke slamming this woman in the bar? Like, where have you been? Do you know where you were? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you where you were. Here it is. You were in the middle of the COVID shitstorm. That's where you were. That's why you didn't pay attention to it. Here it is. Okay, let me pop it up big. Okay, pause. Ezra Miller left. Woman, is she wearing a neck brace? I never noticed that until now. Is she already wearing a neck brace? Okay, so here we go. Let's pop it up large. Let's make me small. Let's get rid of me. Hey, I'm gone. It's like a podcast. This is great. You guys, the viewers are going to go up. All right, let's hit the button here and watch. There he is. He grabs. Hold on. Let's roll it back. So there he is. He's grabbing her. Freeze. He is grabbing her by the neck. She's laughing, but she's also in a state of like, what the fuck is happening to me right now? As she should be. Because Ezra Miller's about ready to choke slam her to the ground. Let's roll it. So here he goes. There he goes. She's moving. By the way, he is moving her. He is physically moving her to the ground. There she is. She's trying to fight it. Whoa. And then, boom, he follows her to the ground. And then the video's like, what just happened? Okay, so one more time, he grabs her. She's like, okay, whoa, hold up. Whoa. Okay, so what's your opinion of what you just watched? Last time. One more time. Grabs. Boom. Now, let's talk about it. If that's Jonathan Majors, is he canceled the next day? Yes or no? It's a turtleneck sweater. Thank you, Chris Gore, for being here tonight, by the way. Pleasure as always. Okay, maybe. So here it is. And what do we have here? You guys, what if Jonathan Majors did this, then what would happen to Jonathan Majors? One more time. Let's roll it back. One more time. There it is. There's the choke, and here comes the slam. Wham. Bro. Okay, so if that's Jonathan Majors, is he out? Is it over? There's not even like Marvel, like the second this drops, Marvel's like he's gone. Solomon, to be honest, both needs to go. Okay, well, here's the situation, though. Let me explain this to you. The situation is that this happened. Let's go back to the date. The date of this is 4/6/20. Let me zoom it. What date is that? That is in the middle of the COVID shitstorm. That is why Ezra Miller got to continue going forward. This happened when you all weren't paying attention. I was paying attention because I was like, this COVID shit is, you guys know how I feel about COVID. Do I think it was real? Yes. Do I think it was overblown? Yes. But in the middle of this, you weren't paying attention. Ezra Miller chokeslammed the woman. That's why this is not as big a story. Right? Kicked out the next day, Dolce. Right, no question about it, right? I mean, absolutely. Majors no. Majors does not have dirt on Feige. Majors has a ton of money invested in him in that series. I mean, we're talking about cash. Major cash. Crash too. Because the whole thing's going to crash out if it's a cans, they got to reshoot the whole thing. Miguel, Majors would be crucified if the video was him. Ezra definitely had the grace. Exactly. Miguel, gold star for you for that. It's exactly what happened. By the way, did anyone else ever mention what I just said? No, of course they didn't. Because that's what we do. We just say what the reality is. It has nothing. Listen, I want to say this. I can't say for sure. But in my estimation, because I've told you guys, how many times have I told you this? Whenever we watch a movie, we're not looking at race or sex. We're watching for someone who's good and talented at what they are. When I recommend Michael Ward in Empire Light, it's not because he is a black male. It's because he's damn good. So, I hope that the reason Ezra Miller is still, for now, and soon to be gone as the Flash, unless, I will say, and I have said, I can't believe that I'm in a place where now we could be in a situation where Ezra Miller continues as Flash. If this film outperforms, if this film turns into a massive blockbuster, which I have a feeling it's going to do, Will Warner Brothers suddenly say, we are going to keep you, Ezra, even though we said we're not going to? Hollywood loves money. I'm not going to obviously argue that. That is their number one mission, to make cash. So, if Ezra continues and Jonathan Majors doesn't, there is a double standard. I'm not going to lie to you. But is it white versus black? I hope to God it's not. It would never be in my world. It would be, when I watch the Ezra Miller video, I'm like, he's out. You can't choke a woman. If there's video of me doing that to a woman in a bar, it's over. So why is he still working? Oliver, 100%. I mean, listen, in stealing liquor bottles, well, that's not as big a deal. Stealing liquor bottles from a place, threatening people is bad. Physically putting your hands on a woman and choke slamming her essentially to the ground like The Undertaker, that is where the line is drawn. Right? Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate it. Thank you for Super Chat. Don't do it. Don't do it here. Jonathan Majors canceled. I'm a heartbeat if he's... Okay, listen, James. You all have a right to be angry if Jonathan Majors gets shit canned and Ezra Miller continues. But remember that Ezra Miller had the luxury of COVID, and I don't even know what the shooting was on Flash at that point. I can't tell you because COVID messed everything up. They were in the middle of stuff. Everything got put on hiatus, came back. Who knows? Warner Brothers did what Marvel wanted to do. They just said, let's let this go away. And for Ezra's sake, that did go away because it happened 1 month after COVID started. Actually, weeks after. No one even paid attention. And that's correct. Zephyr, you're 100% correct. He's accused of grooming a child. There's no question. It's crazy when you think about it. But Warner Brothers is going to try to get this movie out there and recoup as much money as possible from a $200 million plus film in The Flash. I mean, it's kind of just like Marvel. Marvel wants this to go away. Marvel wants to put Loki out. In fact, I'm kind of shocked that they didn't just release Loki, even if it's not finished. I know the effects aren't done, but here's Loki. And just literally you watch, I've been to test screenings where they don't have the effects finished. Just send it out. There's our film. There's our series. I don't care if it's green screens and shit. This is the series. Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. No, I didn't see the video of Miller having a drink in Hawaii. But that's nothing compared to choke slamming a woman. Yeah, the Atlantic article was crazy. Ezra is a little off. But Ezra has somehow managed to keep his reputation alive by staying out of the limelight for 200 days, right? The joke's always the same here. How many, the plant that has no accident in 200, that's Ezra Miller. We're now on 201, no Ezra sighting. 202. Sooner or later, he's going to steal another liquor bottle. I don't know, but it's good. The guy has somehow managed to stay away. I think what they did is what we recommended they do to Ezra Miller when it happened so many months ago when he was raiding into liquor closets and whatnot. We said, put him in the house in Minority Report with the precogs. Put him there in that house at the end in the middle of nowhere and let him live there with the precogs, and he will not be troublesome until the movie's released. And then even then, we still don't release him. You're still going to stay in there with the precogs because, frankly, the precogs will be able to tell if Ezra's going to do some shitty stuff. They're going to say, no! And they're going to tell Ezra, stay in the house. We're precogs, and you're going to go out and smash someone's liquor cabinet again and steal some shit. Stay here. That was me. That was so... Come on. Give me a like. That was pure gold. Tying together Minority Report with Ezra Miller and the precogs. Give me some love. Stealing liquor bottles is Miller's ultimate hobby. Isn't that the weirdest thing, right? When people are rich. Ezra Miller has more money than me, very likely more money than you. I don't know about more money than Gore, but it's close. Here's the thing, though. He still goes out and steals liquor. What the hell? How do you steal liquor when you have millions in the bank? Dude, if I had millions in the bank, first of all, I wouldn't be here with you guys. No, not true. I would still be here because I don't even give a crap. This show's just about ranting and raving, as you guys probably know. But I would not go steal liquor bottles from my next door neighbor. That's what the hell? That's why there's a liquor store. That's why you have $1 million. Go buy the liquor. If Ezra got caught watching The Gray Man, he should be canceled. No, actually. If there was video of Ezra watching Beau is Afraid, no redemption. I don't care. Choke slamming the woman, stealing liquor bottles, beating people up in bars, none of that. You watched Beau is Afraid and you recommended it, it's over. That's the ultimate crime. The ultimate crime. When do I not rant, Zephyr? When do I not rant? Yes, thank you. This is screw you guys. Listen, for those of you who haven't seen Beau is Afraid, just wait. Y'all gonna be coming back going, this movie's shit. Hold on, I have a comment for you. This is good. I forgot I was gonna show you this. I love my viewers. My viewers are very smart. You guys are brilliant. Give me one second. Oh no, is there music on again? Hold on. Let me clear out some things. Sorry. Let me clear out the things. Okay. So check this out. I'm going to show you, by the way, tonight's shirt's Sheffield United. They won today. Are they going to go back to the Premier League? Right now it's looking like yes. Sheffield United. Okay, here we go. Here's the comment. So check it out. I'm going to find it. This was one of my favorites. Where is it? Where? Come on, man. Where is it? Give me a second. Damn it. It was a great comment. Let me find it. I got on Twitter. Give me a second. This is what happens when you do a live show. You just randomly go, what shit? I forgot to load this. Okay, here we go. Rolling. This is it. You guys ready? This I did not write. I don't know who that guy was wearing a tank top. Who's that dude? Hold on. Give me a second. Here it is. Yeah. You ready? Let's read it together. I saw Beau in IMAX at Burbank, and that shit was garbage. I was pissed off and waited for that boat scene, and if you've seen it, you know what we're talking about. The boat scene at the end, hoping to end on a good note, but no, that was it. 3 hours, thank you, of cringe jokes and stale performances, especially the first half with the homeless people. The Sadie Sink wannabe made me want to strangle myself. I never thought about it, but $35 million, that's what we talked about the other night. $35 million for this hunk of shit film. A24 could have made 2 or 3, 4, 5, right? They could have made $11 million a film. 3 films at 11. Help me out here. 7 films at 5. 5 films at 7. Any other math we want to do? 2 films at 17 and a half. 1 film at 34 and 1 at 1. And I promise you both of those movies will be better than this shit film. I'm sorry, I can't do it. The film sucks ass. I hate it. It's the worst film I think I've ever seen. I'm having a hard time. And thank you, Aaron Salazar, for being honest. Unlike all these other critics that are like, it's a good film. You really should see Beau is Afraid. It's so smart. It's so funny. There's not one joke in Beau is Afraid. Ari Aster should never write another comedy. He is not a comedian, nor should he ever write things that are supposed to be funny. And what's up with the girl in this film? What's her name? The actress. Doesn't matter. Who's trying to be Sadie Sink in The Whale? Does A24 have the market cornered on bitchy daughters? It's the same character. In The Whale, Sadie Sink, one note, bitch. In this film, the daughter of Nathan Lane and whoever the actress is, the other one. The bitch. What the hell? Film's terrible. I was fine. I was doing great. Sadie Sink is not good in The Whale. Exactly, Zephyr. Why is this film $35 million? What the hell? I did not, real opinion. Listen, I'm going to explain to you guys. I need to make sure everyone is clear. I have never in my life created another account to interact with me. I am not Aaron Salazar. I did not write this. I know it's going to be shocking for some of you that there are people that saw the same movie that I did? No. Erick's the only person who thought this movie's one of the worst movies ever made. He's the only one, according to Film Twitter. Oh my God, the circle jerk that is film Twitter. Yeah, I'm the only guy. Oh, I want to talk about one more thing. Thank you, by the way. Aaron, I'm going to buy you. Listen, you tell me when you're in Burbank, and I'll go up there and I'll meet you I'm going to buy you a beer for this. And I will take a picture with Aaron Salazar. If you're out there, I'll take a picture to prove that he exists and he agrees this movie sucks ass. Damn right. But we still love A24. There's nothing wrong. You're allowed to say a movie's terrible. You're allowed to say a director sucks in one film without saying everything they ever did is terrible. Come on. All right, let's get to our next thing. This is what I want to talk about here tonight. I promise. I said I was going to go half an hour, and look, we're already over. Here we go. This is right in our wheelhouse. Netflix. They don't get it. Are you surprised? Ted Sarandos, who's the co-CEO of Netflix. Driving folks to theaters is not our business. I get it, Ted. But that doesn't mean you can't, Ted. You've made movies in the past with other studios that are theatrical. Why aren't you? The film division's doing great, Ted Sarandos said during an earnings call. Driving folks to a theater is just not our business. Having big, new, desirable content, first of all, that's a lie, drives value to our members and drives value to our business. There are no major changes in play. You keep playing like it's 2020 and 2021, Ted. Keep doing it. You're doing great. While Apple invests $1 billion in theatrical, while Amazon has Air in theaters doing very well right now. But you keep going. But I can tell you this, Ted. I am going to let you know that I am going to, as we come into award season, we are going to hammer Netflix. They are not allowed to play Oscars ball with their films. They can't be allowed to not have theatrical component to their films and still be eligible for Oscar. It's over. It's not 2020, 2021. It's 2023, and you can't do it. So, Ted, help me out, guys. From Mission Impossible trailer, it's over. It's over. I just gave you the whole thing. Look, Killers of the Flower Moon's coming out, Apple/Paramount. Air, Napoleon. But no, we're not going to do it. They have The Killer. That's a huge movie for them coming up. That's their biggest awards film, right? Anything that is David Fincher is big. Now, if I were David Fincher, here's what I'd be doing. I'd be telling Ted Sarandos that if you do not release my film theatrically, I will never work with you again. And here is why that would work. Fincher has that power. He can go to any studio in this town and they will greenlight his next film. Now, they might put a few creative constraints on him, as they should. No director, and I know I'm going to get I got a lot of flack for this. You can't just let directors make any movie they want. Let me reiterate why. Let's use Ari Aster and let's use Beau is Afraid as the prime example of why you can't let directors do this. When you are given $35 million as a budget, you have a responsibility to make a film that is for an audience greater than one, yourself. Oh, hold. Apologies. The circle jerk film critics that think Beau is Afraid is good. Those folks and Ari. Everyone else, no. $35 million, you got to make something that is at least semi-accessible. We talked about that when you look at The Northman. When you're given $70 million to make a film, as Focus did, really Universal, because Focus isn't going to get $70 million, right? You have a responsibility to bring in a film that is more accessible than The Northman. And that is why we said that film bombing was such a big deal. If you're going to use that budget, you got to make a film that is at least semi-accessible. But as such, right now, you're looking at something that is Beau is Afraid, $35 million for a film that it's going to bomb. This film is going to lose so much money for A24. Because right now, it's only in New York and LA, and it's made 300 and whatever thousand, probably now 500,000. It's a $35 million film. You guys know it's 3 times budget, right? So That would be 105, whatever, somewhere in there, 110. That range. This film's not getting anywhere near there, okay? When this film opens wide, it's dead. It's over. This film is going to bomb. Anywhere other than New York, LA, Chicago, DC, Philly, the circle jerk critics, that's it. It's dead. Real opinion, The Northman was not accessible enough for mainstream audiences. And as such, you are beholden. You have to make a film at $70 million that is at least 75% accessible at that budget. Now, if you want to make The Northman at 10, you can make it 10% accessible. 20%. I would argue The Northman's probably like 45% accessible. I know we've never really talked. It's kind of a new thing. I kind of like this. How accessible is a film? So when we look at Super Mario Brothers, 100% accessible, but also not a good film. No one's saying that accessible equals good. What you're looking for is an accessible, good film. And a great example of that is Air. Air is 95 higher accessible and also a very good film. That's where you want to be. That's the sweet spot. 35, where does this movie come about? Where's the money come from? Who says $35 million for like Seth Rogen comedy? I mean, I could see a Seth Rogen comedy back in the day getting that kind of budget. Not now. I mean, I wouldn't give him, listen, I would go 10 to 15. If you're going to be given $70 million, you have a lot of work to do ahead of you. You cannot just make any film you want. Your film has to be in balance with the budget as far as accessibility. It just does. I know that some of you... Great question, Cameron, by the way. Real quick, Northman lacked energy. It's not a... Listen, The Northman is not a great film. It's also not a terrible film. It's just... the one thing I want to dial in, absolutely, we have to make 100% clear, is that The Northman is not an accessible enough film at the budget. That is what we are trying to do here. The Green Knight, what was the budget on The Green Knight? I don't even know what the budget on The Green Knight is. I can tell you this, The Green Knight's not accessible. I love David Lowery. As you guys know, if you can't see, I think it's back. I don't know if it's here. Where is it? I have it. Ghost Story's been up here forever. I've moved it around. Ghost Story's one of my favorite movies of the past 6 years, 2017. So it's fantastic. And even his Pete's Dragon. But when you watch The Green Knight, you watch a film that's just dead. It's just a emotionally flat film, very much like The Northman. And that's, I think, one of A24's issues. A lot of their films, as much as I really love so many A24 films, look behind me. FYC screeners from films we love, like Lamb, like definitely not Everything Everywhere, but it's up there because it obviously won Best Picture. After Sun, Moonlight, Lady Bird, up at the top, Last Black Man in San Francisco. There's millions back. Farewell, Minari. They're all over the place. There's so many films I love, but when you talk about emotion with A24 films, there's only so many. I think that's something that, as much as I love the filmmaking, there are some issues without. Then you flip around and you watch something like After Sun, which will destroy you emotionally. I mean, detonate you. One of the best films of last year, along with Tar and After Sun, 1, 2. Those are the top 2 films of last year. All right, we'll go 5 minutes, then we're out of here. 5 minutes, less than an hour tonight. I wanted to go 30, and you guys kept me. We had a lot going on. Freddie, welcome to the channel. David Fincher made Mank. Oh, man. No, Freddie, first of all, you're always welcome here when you come in with a comment like this. Mank, what a bore of a film. I mean, when I watch Mank, I was like so stoked, right? It's like, here comes Mank. I can't wait. Let's go. Oh, shit. What am I watching? Great example of a director who makes a film that just is boring as hell. And that, well, it's better than Beau is Afraid. But look, we absolutely savage Fincher for the incredibly dull Mank. And then we turn around and say Ari Aster made a terrible film in Beau is Afraid. We're allowed to, and then we can also turn around and say, hey, Hereditary's a classic, and so is almost every other Fincher film, but not Mank. Good for you. You're able to disassociate for that whole thing. I mean, you have to be able to disconnect from the... Yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny? Before the stream wraps up tonight, I want to make sure one thing's clear. We talk about shills. We talk about this and that. What's the one comment that no one ever says about me? They never, ever call me a shill. They can say I'm loud. They can say I'm opinionated. No one ever says shill. Why would you come after me? I have some ideas. Versus going after a shill. Why? What's the point? Go after a shill. There's no reason for them to exist. I am here, sitting here telling you that Beau is Afraid's terrible. When you see it, you're going to agree. And I'm the bad guy? Why the hell am I the bad guy? I don't care. Erick is afraid of Beau is Afraid. I'm definitely afraid of that film, Gore. 100%. Paint? No. Wrong real opinion. Paint is watchable. Beau is Afraid is not. If Beau is Afraid were 130, 140, 150, I would go with you on this because of the artistic value of Ari Aster's direction. But as a viewing experience, as bad as Pain is, and it's a bad film, I would much rather sit through it because at least I didn't have to have a headache as I watched the bitch of a daughter go off in the Nathan Lane household and then everything that comes up. The problem with this film, I'm doing it again about Beau is Afraid. I'm angry as hell. Why'd you do this to me, guys? Real opinion, I swear to God. None of this film feels authentic. Every single thing in this film feels phony as shit, fantasy bullshit. You have no characters you can grasp onto, and you waste a performance by Joaquin Phoenix. You only get so many performances from a great actor. And Ari Aster, you wasted our time. You wasted his time. You wasted everyone's time with this movie. And if A24 lets you make another film, they better make sure that script is the best script they've ever seen, including better than Hereditary. Because after this, your value drops to 1/8 what it was before. That's how an abomination this film is. It's horrible. It's a horrible film. I will not move off of this even a 1 millimeter. We'll do Sezumi on Thursday. I can't do it tonight. I liked it. It's not Bell, but we will discuss on Thursday along with. We have I'm going to give 2-minute warning. If you want to get in with a super chat, you're in. Otherwise, the show's over. Here's what we're doing Thursday. Evil Dead Rise. Okay, so go see it. We'll talk about it Thursday. Obviously, preview screenings on Thursday. Very good buzz about that film, so I'm excited. I mean, obviously, go back and remember, you go back and when I was a kid, Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 3. When you look at these films, these are classic horror films, so I'm very excited to see Evil Dead Rise. Obviously, I don't expect it to measure up to those, but, I mean, hopefully it has its DNA is there. That's the number one thing I want to see. And then we're going to talk about Sezumi. That'll be on Thursday. All right, last chance. Last chance. Anybody get in here. No, you weren't the only one. Max Cohn, you were not the only one. Mank is an incredibly dull film. The Green Knight and Dune were my favorite. The Dune's amazing, Miguel. Green Knight is, from a production value standpoint, very, very strong, but the screenplay lacks any kind of emotion. I mean, it's just a dull. Again, I mean, it's just boring. And I don't know what Lowry is trying to do. And you're talking about someone, again, who loves Ghost Story, but this is not a great thing. I have Josh. No, listen, I didn't hate The Green Knight. I hate Beau is Afraid. I think I was very disappointed by what The Green Knight actually is versus what I wanted based on those trailers. I wanted 100% Dolce, not phony, right? That's the thing is, why? Can I ask you seriously before we finish? Why do I trigger people by not being phony? Why is me saying it's a career killer? Why do people get so triggered by that? What is it that triggers them about my opinion about a movie? I don't understand it, and I think it speaks. I know it speaks. It speaks to them, not to me. And I think that's the issue, is that there's something wrong fundamentally if you care that much about if I say a movie's terrible. I mean, Eric Davis is a shill, but I don't look at his page every day and worry about it. I got people that obsess about me. They can't handle the truth. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know, Dave, maybe. It's just weird. It's very strange to me because it's always about the films. And some of you are going to say, well, it's personal because you attacked Ari Aster. First of all, you're not Ari Aster, okay? These critics and people that come after me and like, what's going on with you? What are you missing in your life? Because we need to get that filled because there's something missing. How dare you not share my opinion? Yeah, I guess. Maybe it's just because I get the attention, whether it's good or bad. I'm not asking for it. Remember this. When I put that tweet out about Beau's Afraid, saying it's a career killer, I didn't write that tweet to have it have 1.4 million impressions. Like, that wasn't the point. I sent it out in the morning because I was angry that this film was a $35 million 3-hour film that is completely inaccessible. That's what I'm angry about. Here it is. So look here. So there's the tweet. When I sent this tweet, okay, a career-killing film by 0 out of 10. Okay, so it's got 1.4 million views. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that to happen. That's not what. For anyone who says, "Oh, he wants the attention." I don't care. When we started the show, why did I start this show? To have a community where we talk about films and we're real about it, and we say things that maybe piss people off. So be it. It's not about 1.4 million views. I don't care. But the thing I told you, the reason I'm excited that this film got 1.4 million views, this tweet, is because the film's terrible. And if anything, it plants a seed in people's minds when they go see the film that they go, this is a shit film. Like our friend in the comments tonight. I'm going to read it one more time because it's not me. It's Daniel Salazar. And Daniel nailed Beau is Afraid. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Damn it. Hold on. There it is. Okay. This is Aaron. Sorry, not Daniel. Aaron Salazar. One more time. He saw the same movie I did. He saw it in IMAX. I didn't see it in IMAX, so it can't be me. It's not me. I'm not Aaron Salazar. There's a picture of Aaron, for God's sake. It's not someone hiding behind an avatar. It was shit was garbage. I was pissed off and waited for the boat scene to end, hoping to end on a good note, but no, that was it. 3 hours of cringe. That is bingo. Cringe jokes that aren't funny, stale performances, especially the daughter, the Sadie Sink wannabe. My God, what is going on with A24 and the bitchy-ass daughter that isn't even a real character? The character in Beau is Afraid, the bitchy-ass daughter in Beau is Afraid is a phony character, along with Nathan Lane and all of it's fake. Ari Aster, start writing grounded characters. I don't care if it's a fantasy in his head, Joaquin Phoenix, hyper-reality bullshit. The movie sucks. And the performances are not good other than Joaquin, who's wasted in one of the worst films ever made for $35 million. Thank you, Aaron Salazar. I am buying you a Miller Lite. When I see you next out at the AMC, I'm going to walk you over and buy you a beer and we'll get a picture because you're a real person. I don't write things, you guys. Good God. No, you're not going to be excited to see it. Whatever. Screw you, Gore. I'm going to leave with that. One more. Screw Gore. That's it. I wasn't going to do it. Now you asked for it, Gore. You want some? You got it, bro. There it is. Me at the gym. Screw you guys. I will show me at the gym. That's fresh from a pump. I don't care. You can't stop me. By the way, can I ask you just last question, and you guys, and then the show's over. Is it fair to say that is there any other film critic, evaluator, YouTube guy who goes to the gym like this? No, there's not one. Not one. Not that it matters, but just saying. Whatever. Did I skip over your comment, Vault? Hold on. I promise I'll get you on. But you got to do it. You remember, you got to do a super chat. I can't get through all. There's too many comments here. We got Diego in here. We got all kinds of new people. Freddie the Platypus. Thank you, by the way, Freddie. You're a gold star. Cam, what's up, buddy? The biggest movie. Netflix's biggest movie is Murder Mystery. I'm sorry, I missed some of these. Is making money not their business? Thank you, Darren. That's a great comment. God, I need to. One of you are going to be a producer. Who wants to be a producer for the show? You have to be here and push the buttons on the comments. And you can't screw the show up. That's your job. The pay is zero. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like an internship. You get $0. Zero. But you get to push the buttons. Thanks, Mikhail. Exactly. Why do they come after me for being real? Why? Thank you. That is my physique critique. Why are they coming after me? Why do they hate me? They don't like me because I go to the gym? Because I tell you the truth about Beau is Afraid? Because I call Netflix a sham because they don't put their movies in theaters? Why am I terrible? Screw you guys. I hate all of you. Not you guys. The other people. All the other people out there. We'll randomly pick a producer. Josh, I might take you. I feel like Josh would be good at this. Josh has been there from like day one. So Josh, I'm eyeing you. My eyes on Josh for the producer of MMT. All right, guys, we're back Thursday night. Thanks for being here. I want to do a half an hour. And look, here we are. We're here doing a whole hour, which is way too much. I mean, like 5 minutes. No, 50 seconds of MT is too much. 1 hour is borderline abusive. So I apologize to everybody tonight. If I got on your nerves, that's my specialty. Your homework tonight, look what I have in my hands. Empire of Light. You need to watch this film because I want you to come in with comments on Thursday to tell me what works and what does not work with this film. And I know what you're going to tell me because I've seen the film. You're going to see the same things. Empire of Light is your film to watch for homework. Until then, MMT, live from Los Angeles, is out. See you guys Thursday night. Good night. Thursday, Evil Dead Rise.